This is my second in the series on videos on the subject of evolution versus creation. Now, a lot of evolutionary scientists, try to exposit that theory of evolution is a scientific fact, and it's presented that way in the media, on television networks and scientific magazines. But I've got some quotes that I'd like to read out that are from evolutionists themselves, that show us that it's not quite the scientific fact that many believe it to be. I'm going to read these quotes word for word so that I'm not adding or subtracting anything. First quote is from F.J. Ayala and J.W. Valentine from Evolving the Theory and Process of Organic Evolution, page 230, and it says, "It is, however, very difficult to establish the precise lines of descent, termed phylogenies, for most organisms." The second quote says, "Undeniably, the fossil record has provided disappointingly few gradual series. The origins of many groups are still not documented at all." And that was by D. Futuma in Science on Trial, The Case for Evolution, pages 190 and 191. Number 3 says, "There's still a tremendous problem with the sudden diversification of multicellular life. There's no question about that. That's a real phenomenon." And that was by Niles Eldredge, quoted in Darwin's Enigma, Fossils and Other Problems, by Luther D. Sunderland. And that was page 45. Again, these are quotes from evolutionists, not creationists. We'll get to that later. Number 4 is, "Whatever ideas authorities may have on the subject, the lungfishes, like every other major group of fishes that I know, have their origins firmly based in nothing." That was quoted in W.R. Bird, The Origin of Species Revisited, pages 62 and 63. Number 5, "The main problem with such phyletic gradualism is that the fossil record provides so little evidence for it. Very rarely can we trace the gradual transformation of one entire species into another through a finely graded sequence of intermediary forms." And that was by S.J. Gould and S.E. Loria in A View of Life, page 641. The sixth quote says, "It should come as no surprise that it would be extremely difficult to find a specific fossil species that is both intermediate in morphology between two other taxa and is also in the appropriate stratigraphic position." That was from J. Cracroft in Systematics, Comparative Biology and the Case Against Creationism, page 180. Number 7 is, "Most families, orders, classes, and phyla appear rather suddenly in the fossil record, often without anatomically intermediate forms, smoothly interlinking evolutionarily derived descendant taxa with their presumed ancestors." And that was said by Niles Eldredge in Macroevolutionary Dynamics, Species, Niches, and Adaptive Peaks, page 22. Number 8, "Species that were once thought to have turned into others have been found to overlap in time with these alleged descendants. In fact, the fossil record does not convincingly document a single transition from one species to another." That was said by S.M. Stanley in the New Evolutionary Timetable, Fossils, Genes, and the Origin of Species, page 95. Now, I'd just like to read the last part of that again, because I think that's a pretty important fact. It says, "In fact, the fossil record does not convincingly document a single transition from one species to another." Now, that's not what we hear from most of the evolutionists, but here's an evolutionist who says that's the case, and there's many others that do, as well as creationists. So not all the scientists are in agreement on these. And the last one for this video is, "Indeed, it is the chief frustration of the fossil record that we do not have empirical evidence for sustained trends in the evolution of most complex morphological adaptations." And that was by Stephen J. Gould and Niles Eldredge in Species Selection, Its Range and Power, page 19. So in future videos, I'll be bringing some more quotes from evolutionists, creationists, people from every area of science that really bring into question some of these evolutionary theories and show that scientists around the world have massive disagreement with how evolution started, how it works, and if it is in fact you know, an accurate science at all. So we get presented with lots of information, and it's forced on us as being a fact. But we need to look at all of the information and make up our minds for ourselves. I'll be presenting quotes from Charles Darwin, from Richard Dawkins, from, you know, many other well-known scientists that anyone who's in the know of the debate between creation and evolution should recognize these scientists. You know, I'm not pulling out obscure people that have never been heard of before. Thank you.